Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Moved it back 2 hours and still couldn't make it on time, but that's how that goes. Welcome to your weekend. I'm happy to be with you, Pastor Ben here. We have an opportunity today to look at a few upcoming advocacy opportunities, and I wanted to make sure that I got those in front of you. Some of them are sooner rather than later, but if, I would love to know who out there is interested in engaging with us as we go into this period. So there's a couple of big things coming up. One is it happens every single year. It's called Ecumenical Advocacy Days. Brian has the link for us. He'll drop that in the chat so that you can find it. And Ecumenical Advocacy Days takes place each year. It is a wonderful way to engage across denominations on issues of social justice, and to get your feet wet on what it's like to do some advocacy at the federal level. So this year, Ecumenical Advocacy Days is in the middle of April, starts on April the 18th, runs through the 21st. It's all virtual this year, surprise. So it would be a way for you to join from wherever you are and come alongside those who are also stepping out in advocacy. There's going to be a focus this year on, environment. So if you wanted to come and get your feet wet on that, if you're passionate in particular around the environment, that's a really good one. It's also just a really great way to educate yourself about how some of the advocacy works on the Hill, especially right now when it's all virtual, because I don't even know. And it's a really good kind of first event if you wanted to be there to make your voice heard, to bring up issues that are critical for our world and our communities. So Brian has dropped in the homepage for that. You could register. If you're going, please let me know. We'd love to know that you're heading out there. Hopefully we've got a few people that want to engage, but again, really great first time event to learn really about how some of this just works. And you can see the schedule on there and how it's going to go. Another one that is coming up, and today is actually the deadline. It's the first of many, but there's going to be a lot of pickup in terms of advocacy around immigration and immigration reform. And there's a lot of bills that are coming up before Congress. I think the House is taking them up next week, and then my understanding is probably before the April recess, the Senate may get their hands on it. So we have a group that the General Board of Church and Society is working with, the General Board of Church and Society for the Methodist Church, who works on public policy things, the living out of our social principles. Together, they're in partnership with a group called Value Families, and Brian can put in the link for that. They have a deadline today, but they'll be hosting a series of virtual visits coming up end of the month. And if you wanted to go along with folks who are going to be meeting with their members of Congress, then you can do that. And there's some training as well as some good bill summaries, in particular on the Reuniting Families Act. But all that's to say, there's a lot that's going to be happening on immigration coming up, and there will be a number of different ways you can engage it if that's what you want to do. And you can engage it personally, or you can just go along to be a moral support for other folks who are going to visit with members. The accompanying aspect is really important on this, not only because, if you're in DC, you don't actually have voting representation, but also for those who are in the immigration fight. A lot of, not all, but some congressional offices, Senate offices, tend to take the view of, you're not a citizen, therefore I'm just not going to listen to you, and kind of just back people out the door. So those of you who want to come alongside, accompany people, it's needed, because there are folks there are offices who are more than happy to just shoo people away, and that's sad, but it's the reality. So those of you with the privilege of citizenship and access and everything else can engage that for a useful purpose. And if it matches up with your timeframes, then I encourage you to sign up and go. We'll have some more opportunities coming to do some organizing work with the General Board of Church and Society. In particular, we're going to do a little focus, try and do a little focus with some North Carolina churches. So if you're interested in immigration reform, and if you're interested in doing some visits with people, if you're interested in just talking one-to-one, either with each other or with fellow Methodists across the connection, I would encourage you to reach out to me and soon, because we will try and get some things on the ground and moving to be ready for when the Senate starts taking up consideration and trying to meet with different groups. If you're not in DC, if you're in the counties in Maryland and Virginia, you have your own reps. And so I would love to know how to come alongside you. We're less strategically concerned with Maryland and Virginia, but there are also ways for us to join in strategically with other Methodists across the connection who may have votes in the Senate that are a little more in question. So all of this is happening soon, and all of these are things that you can engage from wherever you are. And again, if you want to do it, you just tell me, and I will come alongside, and we will step in to support you in whatever way we can. And if you want to make these connections with other Methodists in a way that we can live out our faith together, I strongly encourage you to do that, and just stay in touch with me and the Sacred Resistance team as we look at the ways that we do this. As always, the other big thing is everything that's happening locally. So committee hearings in DC continue. Reform bills are up. Budget concerns are up for consideration. The Judiciary Committee that's looking at things like police reform are meeting right now. So I encourage you to engage that process. And as always, reach out to me and our partners at Washington Interfaith Network and at the Way Home campaign so we can continue the fight around affordable housing and ending chronic homelessness. Those are big and always a concern with the district as they consider what to put in or take out of the budget. So lots of stuff for you if you've got the time. I know that motivation is a daily reconsideration, whether it's there or not. So just continue to be gentle with yourself and continue to let us know how we can support you. And we'll continue to let you know the different ways that you can support your neighbors. The sunshine was here. It's gone now. It's going to be cold again. I hope you can get outside and enjoy some of this weather, but it's coming soon. Actual spring is coming soon. I think we should be through maybe the last fake spring of the year. And once we get through the rain and hopefully not any snow next week, we'll be back to it. And continue to wear your masks. Continue to wear your masks. If you're in line for the vaccine, get your shots. We'll keep moving slowly and hopefully and faithfully toward whatever's next, and we'll continue to reach out to take whatever the next faithful step is. So work on digesting some of this info. We'll see you as soon as we can. Join us on Sunday for for worship, 11:15. We will see you very, very soon. Goodbye, everybody.